Hello, welcome back to Retirement Clarity Radio. My name is Scott Newhouse. I am your host, and I am so thankful that you are here. Shout out to you and the dozens and dozens of listeners all across the country for tuning in to this podcast. As you know, this is a short 10 to 15 minute podcast where we're going to talk about the main things that you need to know about specific topics. We're going to get in, get the information, then get out, enjoy the rest of our day. We're in a podcast series right now on long-term care, and today we're going to talk about what types of long-term care are there. As you can imagine, there's a variety of different options for you getting the help that you need later in life, and we're just going to talk about a variety of them in this episode. So, as a little recap to the first episode, long-term care specifically refers to an individual not being able to perform what's known as activities of daily living, ADLs. And so there's 6 basic activities of daily living. It is eating, bathing, getting dressed, toileting, transferring, from your chair to a bed, incontinence. So if you're not able to perform 2 out of those 6, then you need long-term care help. And so if you're not able to do, your activities of daily life on your own, that's when you would need assistance in the variety of ways that we're going to talk about in this episode. So the first one is if we need long-term care. I think this is people's preferred option, and that's home-based care. So you stay in your home, you live in your home, you don't have to, go somewhere else, and then someone can come visit you or potentially stay with you for an extended period of time if you need it, and they help you live as independently as possible. So this care could be provided by family members. I don't recommend that, just for your family members and kind of the burden that it would be to them. But it can also include paid caregivers, healthcare professionals such as nurses, home healthcare aides, etc., who are trained to perform the activities that you need help with. Often, home health care aides can also help you with things like physical therapy. So if you, had a leg injury or had some kind of physical injury, they can help you physically get better so that you can become even more independent. And so that's the first big type of long-term care that we have, home-based healthcare. Someone comes to you, you pay them, hourly, a set amount per month, whatever, and they help you, give you the care that you need. Now, the second level is a residential facility. And I know, and some of these are going to be nicer than others. Some of these are going to be more pleasing to you than other options. So let's talk about why we would go to why we would go to a residential facility, and that's mainly because your friends, family, caretakers, they just can't give you the support that you need at your house anymore. And so the first place that you could potentially go is an assisted living facility. So these are for people who need assistance with daily living, but they don't need 24-hour support. So it's mainly independent, but you do need some help with something going on in your life. And there's going to be different levels of care with assisted living facility, and so you've just got to figure out what your health needs are and what kind of facilities are available to you and the different levels that specific assisted living facility might have. So different levels of care at different facilities. Now, assisted living residents are likely to have their own apartment, their own room, and then they share common places. So again, it's mostly independent, but you need help with something. And so a lot of these have services where, they feed you 3 meals a day. They could help you with medication, assistance with any kind of personal care or housekeeping. They have security and on-site staff. They can help you with laundry. And then they also have social and recreational activities. So maybe you need help getting better with something. Maybe you just can't maintain something that's recurring in your life, and it's not feasible for you to live at home anymore. So you might go to an assisted living facility and live mostly independent with some kind of help in some area of your life, depending on your health. Now, the more extreme example of long-term care, and I know a lot of people don't love this, is a nursing home. And so this is when you really just don't have the ability to live independently anymore, and you need that 24 support, or at least access to 24 hours support. So this could be like a skilled nursing facility where they're giving you a variety of medical and personal care services. And so this is a much more high touch service and offering than an assisted living facility, simply because you're going to need that help. So obviously they're going to provide the 3 meals a day. They're going to have 24-hour supervision, assistance with everyday activities, and then they're also going to be able to provide rehabilitation services, physically or occupationally, speech therapy, etc., to try and get you better. But again, nursing home, that's our second type of facility that we could go to, and this is really much more hands-on for folks. And we talked a little bit about this in the last podcast, but around 40% of people will enter a nursing home at some point in their lives, after the age of it's either 60 or 65. So, and then the average stay in a nursing home is typically around 272 days. Some people, it's obviously going to be less. Maybe maybe they just need help with something to get better, and then some people might have more lingering illnesses where they're going to need to stay there 9 months, 12 months, or even longer. Then the third type of facility that we're going to have in terms of long-term care is something called the continuing care retirement community. Now, these are different from the first two examples in that they just have a different level of service, and this is probably the most independent one of all. So it's independent housing with access to different facilities on campus that include nursing care and assisted living. So just think of a bigger type community where you have your own independent housing, but then you have access to different care needs if you need it, like a nursing home, like an assisted living. They are also going to have healthcare facilities on site, as well as recreation facilities on site. So it's going to be kind of an all-in-one type option. They are very expensive. Obviously, you got to do your research on your specific location and how it might cost you, or what it might cost you, and then also look into the services that specific facility offers. But if you like the idea of, being in an independent living facility, having your own independent housing, but realizing that at some point in life, you might need more help, but you don't want to go to a completely new place, this could be a good option. That's essentially what it's for. You're in independent housing, and then something worsens in your life, something happens in your life, and then you can go on campus to that assisted living facility or that nursing care facility. It's an all-in-one campus to meet all of your needs. So those are the 3 main types of facilities that we encounter in long-term care. What you're going to need is obviously going to depend on your health and what you need help with on a daily basis. So I've got 3 more options that I want to talk about in terms of long-term care, and then again, we're going to get out of here. Don't want to keep you here all day. The first option that I have is Alzheimer's care. There's actually facilities that specialize, and this is really nice, they're specialized in helping people, with dementia or Alzheimer's disease. And so they're able to provide 24-hour assistance as well as planned programs to ensure a person's welfare and quality of life. And what I really like about this is that they specialize in this. So they are kind of the experts in this. So if, a family member is suffering from, these cognitive mental diseases, then this could be a really good option for them. And, the residence can be either in some kind of semi-private residence, or it could be a private room, and that really just depends on obviously the cost and what that person needs. The second thing that I want to mention outside of what we talked about before is an adult day care center. And so think about someone who's able to live at home. Maybe they're living with a family member, but they still need help with daily living, but that family member is gone during the day. They're working from 9 to 5. There are adult daycare centers that care for and provide activities for elderly, disabled adults who are able to live in their home, but they need something to do, and they need routine daily activities to help them physically and mentally maybe get better, as well as just provide them activities for them to engage in. So these kind of centers can provide social contact, exercises, therapeutic exercise, preventative mental health programs, as well as nutritious meals. So that's a great option there as well. The last thing that I want to mention on this episode in terms of long-term care is actually not a facility, but it's an emergency medical alert system. So some of you may be familiar with these. In essence, a person's wearing a necklace or a bracelet with a button to push. When that button is pushed, emergency assistance is sent to the residence of that person, and really all they got to be able to do is to press that button, and then they're going to get help on the way. This is so extremely important, especially if you have an aging parent or you yourself are aging. God forbid you live alone, you have a fall, something happens, you're not able to get yourself up. Who are you going to be able to contact? Will you even be able to reach a phone? Will you have a phone on you? Just get something that you can keep on your body or, your parents' body so that they can just press it and then get the emergency assistance that they need. I highly, highly recommend it. Yes, it does cost money, but man, it is so worth it. So that's all I've got for today in terms of the types of long-term care. We've obviously got the three different the three main options that we have. At home healthcare, that's probably what most people preferred. We have assisted living, which is mostly independent, but we need some kind of help on an ongoing basis. We have nursing home. It's really where we're going to need 24-hour support for some kind of ailment that we have. Continuing care retirement community, that could be a great option if you want to have an all-encompassing campus, although it's very expensive. And then next, we talked about Alzheimer's care and specific care facilities that help cater to one or two specific needs. You're going to have the specialist working with you there, and that's why I love that option. And then also adult daycare centers, folks who are able to live independently at home, but they need something to engage their minds and bodies in, while maybe a family member or a caretaker is away. That's a really great option to stay stimulated during the day. And honestly, I think for anyone over a certain age, I don't know, maybe 75, 80, just get that emergency medical alert system, something like a bracelet or a necklace that you can put on you, put on your parent, and then just have them click a button. God forbid they fall and they're not able to get up and help themselves. So I know I really covered a lot. If you want to go more in depth in terms of long-term care, definitely make sure to listen to the rest of these podcast episodes. Also, you can go to freeretirementbooks.com and then you can pick up a copy of my book, 65 Questions to Ask and Answer Before You Retire. That's going to be a comprehensive study of everything that you need to do in terms of your retirement. So that's all I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye. Thanks again for listening. As a reminder, you should consult with a financial advisor familiar with the specific circumstances of your unique financial situation before making any financial decisions. Nothing in this podcast is a solicitation for the sale or purchase of any securities. Any mentions of rate of return are hypothetical in nature and not a guarantee of future returns. Scott Newhouse, CFP, is an investment advisor representative of Forthright Finances, a California and Nevada registered investment advisor.